And you always have this
times.
perfect idea of how this is all going to work out.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like, you don't have control of that.
Yeah.
Like, you can raise a kid up in the most loving, kind household, and they can do whatever they want with their lives.
Exactly. So what's up, you guys? Welcome back to It's a Win-Win Wednesday. We are so excited about today's episode. So you might notice if you're watching on YouTube that Tommy is not with me today. I have my best friend, Jackie Satterall, with me. Woo! So make sure you guys welcome her in the comment section if you guys are watching on YouTube. So you guys loved Jackie so much on our last podcast with her that we had to bring her back. And she so graciously said yes to being a guest on our podcast because she's literally heading to work right after this.
Definitely. Like, right after. Literally
right after this. So she is making time for you guys and for us. So let's show her some love in the comment section. So Jackie, how are you feeling today?
I am feeling really pregnant today.
Really
I feel
pregnant.
gigantic. But I'm not even in the third trimester yet.
No, well, I love that. Like, thing with Jackie that I appreciate about her is she's so honest and just tells it how it is. You know, I really appreciate that, Jackie. So you're feeling pregnant.
Huge.
Yeah, but you feel
Bloated.
good being able to hang out with us. And
Yeah.
we had a good night. I learned how to play a new game.
Yes, we played mahjong.
Yeah.
Yes, that was really fun.
Yeah.
We're enjoying the little things we can now because we know once baby Sads is here, we're not going to be able to just pick up and go anymore.
I know. And so I kind of just wanted today to talk about living life in like uncertainty and like having hope in that. Jackie's story is really inspiring to me. And I feel like as my best friend, I get to hear her really like pour life into me and talk about uncertainty and fear and all these different things that I go through. And she's going through it with, you know, her and Jackie, her and Nico having a baby.
Right.
You know, you guys are pregnant. Like, you're going to have a baby in how many months?
Baby's gonna be here in August, so
And it's the size of a mango.
like almost 3 months.
Almost 3 months.
Oh, almost 3 months.
Yeah.
Or over 3 months. I can't remember.
That's crazy.
I'm really bad at counting.
No, that's
my
okay.
math is really bad while I'm pregnant right now.
So pregnancy
rewarding.
brain is a real thing.
It's so real.
So Jackie and Nico are pregnant, and as her best friend, as like, these are my people. This is like my family. I love them, you know? So I kind of feel like I'm in this journey with them, even though I'm not pregnant. For some reason, I feel like I'm really part of this journey.
Oh,
like,
definitely.
I'm like ready to make her registry for her.
I know.
And I'm like sending her crib recommendations.
Seriously.
And
My
like,
sister's so mad at me.
what, for not having
There's
registry?
not a registry up yet.
Yeah. So if you guys are
Give
parents,
recommendations.
yeah, anything that you got, any parents watching this, comment below. Strollers, cribs, car seats,
Yeah. All that
baby
stuff.
wipes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever you guys love, please let us know because I'm trying to help Jackie out. I'm pretty sure Daniela and her sister's trying to help her out
Oh, yeah.
on like,
She's like, hurry up.
hurry up. I mean, for me, I'm like, yeah. So like, what stroller are you getting?
Yeah.
I'm like, I think I know a good one. I'm like, I'm not even pregnant. I love it. So
Yeah.
Jackie, how did you and Nico decide you guys wanted to have a baby?
So that was really hard. So I'm sure you guys have watched Sophie and Tommy's conversation about having kids. And we pretty much went through the same fears and just concerns of raising a child. I mean, like, we're still going through that now, even though there's a baby here. Yeah. But we really discussed like what was holding us back, especially. So I'm 26 going on 27 this year. And I mean, I think what hit me more was just knowing that our parents had kids when they were younger. Like, my mom had me when she was 20. And I just realized, you know, ultimately my faith was going to be a huge role in this decision because for our decision-making process, we always like try to focus on like God's plan and like work our way into his plan, not try to force something that isn't. We would never want to force anything upon us. So
What would you be forcing though?
forcing, like, I feel that when we make decisions, when you're not considering God's plan, it's like a very dangerous zone. And this is just like my faith and like my perspective on things.
Right.
Because there's like a grain of life that you kind of want to follow with God.
Got it.
And so always in his time, never force anything. And I think with big decisions like moves, pregnancy, jobs, like you always just want his plan to come to fruition, not ours, because there have been seasons in my life where I've forced things to happen and I knew this was not it. And I should have just been patient and just been ready. And so ultimately at this point, when we were considering to have a kid, we were just thinking, you know, we ultimately are going to give this to God. If God
Got it.
makes this happen, then it'll happen. And if it doesn't, then that means we're not ready.
Wow.
Because
You
so
guys
many
just
women,
trusted God, basically.
yeah, 100%. Because I learned about so many women that were struggling just to have kids during this time too. And so that's a hard conversation to go through when women like are still trying to have kids. And yet you're also saying like, in God's time.
Yeah.
And if it's in God's times, like we were also so ready to adopt if God forbid anything happened like that.
Look at that. That is amazing. I just appreciate you being honest about that. And I remember the day Jackie told me, she's like, hey, we're trying to have a baby. Like she just told me that. I was like in my room and I was like, oh my gosh, what?
Yeah.
And the level of excitement I had and like, I know, I mean, I don't want to speak for Nico, but I just know like based on talking to him that he was nervous.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because you have to think, like, we were your stereotypical graduate from high school, go to college, get a job, like everything. And I think so many of our friends, they're also going through that exact same process. And so naturally, you want to follow this process of life. Yeah. And then you want to be in control of everything. And so when you realize like there are some things that you just can't have in your control and are not meant to be, it's just freeing. Yeah. It's so much more freeing. You're like, okay.
But it was so encouraging that you guys just were like, we're going to try to have a baby because if we try, it doesn't happen. It wasn't in God's plan in time. But you guys tried and it was very successful quickly. I was like, so Jackie and Nico called us on our last stretch of our road trip from Texas where we were like literally exhausted. I mean, Tommy was like, a good probably like I don't know 16 to 20
hours. It was like 11 p.m. for you guys, I think, when we called.
We got home at like 2-3 a.m. It was exhausting. We're so tired. And I was like, Jackie, I'm so sorry. I'm so tired. Like, I was like this. I was like, I'm so tired.
She texted me. She's like, honestly, Jackie, I'm really tired. I was like, trust me, this will wake you up.
I had no projection in my voice. And I was like, okay, what's she going to tell me that's going to wake me up? I'm like, I don't know. It must be really good. And so we put them on speakerphone and they're like, we're having a baby. I was like, I don't know if you said that exactly, but like, we're pregnant.
Yeah, we said we're pregnant.
We're pregnant. And I was like, I like screamed.
She woke up.
Yeah, I woke up quick. I was like, oh my gosh, you guys are having a baby.
Yeah.
It was so exciting. And so it's just the amount of faith that you guys have, I think is really inspiring to a lot of people. And I think it's easy to say like in God's time and like, or, you know, whatever you believe, like in the time it's going to work out for the best. It's like, it's easy to say that, but to live it out is a whole different thing.
Yes. It is so hard to say like, okay, I know I really want this. And I know that this is like what I think is best, but I truly don't know.
Because it might have came sooner than you thought. Yeah. I mean, it was really fast. Like you talked about it casually.
Within
but, like,
the next month, like a month after I told her we were trying, like we were pregnant.
And they were pregnant. And so now the baby's the size of a mango. Like I can't even deal like it's like this big, you know? Like that's the cutest thing ever. That's
it's so crazy.
Exciting. And it's going to be a little baby boy.
Yes.
So Jackie, in regards to like, you guys had to have some fear.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Can you like share with people
having a baby?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the biggest concern that everyone feels is when they're coming home with this brand new baby in their hands. They're like, crap.
Like it's real. It's happening.
Like, I can drop this baby anytime. And like, that would be so detrimental to their health. They're just so delicate.
Scary.
And I think what I've heard is like, that's when you kind of really appreciate God's love for you because that love that you have, because a love for a spouse is so different
than a baby that you're carrying right now that you're going to meet in a couple months. Like that's a whole nother level that we both have not been through yet.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think the fear of that is like, what am I going to do? Like, am I going to do something wrong? Can I give this baby a good life? And I think a huge part of that was our finances, because we're talking like mid-COVID. Why are we thinking like this? Like, why do we want to have a child?
Have a baby in the middle of a pandemic.
Nico didn't have a job yet.
Yeah, because Nico just finished grad school.
Yeah, he just finished grad school. And
shout out to Nico.
Shout out to Nico. That was like a huge season for him too.
I know,
like,
he worked so hard.
I was
so impressed. Yeah, it was hard.
It was really hard mentally on him. He
moved here from Indiana, you know, to a new state he's never lived in.
Right.
Now he's newly married.
Right.
You know, meeting all of Jackie's family, getting comfortable with her side of the family.
Yeah.
Which he loves them. But it's a new experience. That's a lot.
Everything new. And then to just also not feel like you're providing for your wife. And then like,
that's another podcast topic.
oh
one
yeah.
day, girl.
But just like questioning, you know, what am I doing wrong? How come I can't get a job? All these things, like these were considerations, especially finances. And so like going back into wanting to be in control of every single thing,
in control of your money.
I think that was probably the biggest fear going into it. How can we financially afford this? Like we have so much debt for student loans,
which a lot of people our age do.
Yeah.
Right. And so if you guys are feeling like this, it's real talk.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, thank God the government loans are frozen right now.
Woo!
Shout out. But we were just thinking, you know, is this the right decision? Because I think when we think of giving the best life to our child, we're always like, I want them to never have to worry about all these things.
About money, housing and food.
Yeah, comfort.
Yeah, basic necessities, really.
Yeah. And I think like bringing our faith into that when we just realize, again, like God has constantly provided in our lives. Like, why will he stop now? If he provides us a child, why would he not take care of that child?
Dang, that's like that one-liner that people will like write down. Say it again. If God has provided...
Like if God has provided this child,
child,
why would he not take care of that child?
Yeah.
Because he loves them the same.
Yeah. And just like also giving Jackie and Nico like the courage and like the wisdom to raise a baby. Obviously they both have never done this. Like, you know, obviously we don't know what we're really doing.
No, like still in life.
Exactly.
We feel like children.
Like we still feel like kids.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
It's crazy. And we're, you know, I say we as if I'm having a baby, but like they are having a baby. And there's so much fear to that. So you had financial fear. You had like, are you capable?
Yeah. Are you capable of raising this child? Like, I mean, I've babysat kids. Like I've changed diapers before.
That's different than like all day and like the breastfeeding and like the caring of the baby. Like Jackie and I, like as best friends, we tell each other, you know, our deepest fears, our biggest struggles. And like one of them has always been that we're literally terrified to have kids. Like terrified.
Seriously. And I think something that also plays into that is like so much fear.
Yeah.
But we have so many family members that are like on a huge spectrum of ages right now where we see them in their seasons of life. And we're also like, dude, what would I do if that was my kid going through those things? Like, how would I guide them? Yeah. How would I take care of them? And still like,
we both have big families, you know, we see our siblings and our cousins and our nieces
nephews.
Yeah.
And
all
like,
that stuff going through.
Yeah. And you always have this perfect idea of how this is all going to work out.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like, you don't have control of that. Yeah. Like, you can raise a kid up in the most loving, kind household, and they can do whatever they want with their lives.
Exactly. So I think you guys have really trusted, like in your faith, you're so rooted and so strong in it that you're like, I'm not going to let fear hold me back from experiencing this like opportunity to love and bring a baby to this world.
Right.
Because God has provided for you guys every step of the way. Like he has really worked in their life. And that's really why I wanted to have this podcast today, to encourage you guys and for them to share their story. I know Nico's not here. He's at work. But
providing.
Yeah, providing. Exactly. I love
Shout
it.
out, Nico.
But like Nico got his job right when they found out they're having a baby.
I mentioned that. Oh, okay. That was like a huge sign from God. Okay. So here we are, like
fearful.
We're very fearful. Like we're not stopping having a baby, but we're also like we're okay if we're not getting pregnant.
It's like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen if it does.
Exactly. Yeah. And then I didn't get my period and I was like, all right, time to get a test. And then I kid you not, we found out we were pregnant. And then I want to say the day of or the day after, I can't remember exactly, Nico got his acceptance offer from his job. And
like the dream company he wanted to work for.
Yeah, exactly. And so to think the thing that was holding Nico back from having a kid, God was like, thank you for trusting me that I was going to give you a child. Yeah. Here's your job. Like, I will provide for you.
Amazing. And that just shows, I think that's why you had all this fear. Both of you had different types of fear, but then continue one thing after another of him providing for them. And it's just beautiful, like
how it all plays out.
Yeah, like when we feel like we're strapped for money. Yeah, a lot of us stress about money, especially like
right now,
loans right now, pandemic, and like living in a state that's just really expensive to live in,
more than we've ever paid.
Yeah, same. It's rough, and somehow a lump sum of money can randomly come. It's not random to us. It's like, oh, maybe that's random, but it's like, really, it's like, thank you, God, for providing for me.
Like even meals, like we're getting meals from places that we didn't think we were going to get. That's saving money right there.
Exactly. Like if I can bless my friends by buying dinner for them, And you don't ever know what effect that has on someone's like life, you know?
Right.
And so God continues to provide, and it's important, like no matter what you guys believe, you know, to recognize the blessings in your life.
Yes.
And that I personally don't think that it's an accident. I think God has a plan for your life.
Yeah.
And that he's literally showing them step by step, you guys. I mean, in every way, step by step, that he is providing.
Right.
So Jackie, before we close off, what's like just one piece of advice that you have about anything, about uncertainty, how to have hope in that? Any final thoughts?
I think for non-believers and believers, like whenever you have the thought of like, oh my gosh, I just don't know if this is it. This is not going to happen. Just like whenever you feel that higher power, because I know a lot of people like they acknowledge a higher power.
Yeah.
And just like tap into that and just try to like recognize that there is something speaking to you. We believe it's the Holy Spirit, but for you, it might be just a higher power for now. But if you just like be still and then you let that feeling just kind of speak to you, there's so much peace in that. Holding your, I read it somewhere. It's like holding your life with an open hand. Don't have so much control over it because ultimately like this world is going to keep going and you just have to appreciate everything in that moment. And don't grip onto everything so tightly.
Yeah. Like don't hold on to things so tightly as if it's going to be there forever, or this is the end all be all. Just like be open to receive what is about to happen in your life. Like
very fluid. Be very fluid with your life and have faith. That whatever is going to happen, like this is meant
to happen, and
whether it's good or bad.
Try to control so much.
Yes.
It's like Nico didn't get the other jobs he applied for because that was the one he was supposed to have.
Yes.
Because that's just what we believe, and that's hard. Exactly. It's like we just want to have a job.
Yeah. He's like, I know this is the one.
I need stability.
And it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
But now he loves where he's at.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Jackie, so much for being on It's a Win-Win today. We love you. If you guys enjoyed this podcast, please let us know in the comments. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. We're only a couple subscribers away from 100. You guys are amazing. If you want Jackie back, let us know. Would you guys be interested to see Nico on the podcast? I know I am.
I'm so down.
We could have like a
guy talk,
boys chat. Yeah, guys chat, whatever. I think that'd be super fun.
Yes.
So, yeah, today we are wrapping up the episode. And if you guys are watching Apple Podcasts, thank you for listening on Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to give us a rating and subscribe. And today I'm drinking coffee.
Chai tea latte.
And you're drinking a chai. So I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.